Hi, all. My name's Harvey, and this is my workbench. And today I have my Gen 8 V2 Elaine up here on the workbench because I went out and broke the steering knuckle on it. But if you ain't breaking it, you ain't using it. So, but unfortunately, I also broke one of my own rules, which is don't have both trucks on the workbench at the same time. But sometimes shipping and things like that, logistics, don't work out to where you can have all the parts when you want them. So, what we're going to start with is the left hand side steering knuckle. That's broken off, so I'm going to go ahead and start with taking off this wheel, getting it out my way. Hope everybody's been having a pretty good day. It's a happy Saturday. Endura wheels. Everybody picks on Endura, but hey, they're pretty good. I haven't had an issue with them. Well, I understand that YouTube and such, if you want to upload to them, you need to make sure that your video is short enough that it can be done in one part. I'm going to try to do it as quick as I can without messing it up. Then I'll work on the time limit. But, you know. Alright, so one of the few things you're going to have to do after taking the wheel off, go ahead and take your broken piece off your arm here. That should be a 2 mil. I do believe. I grab 2.5. I'm going to go ahead and keep that nylon nut on the end of that so I don't lose it. And next you want to take off the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. No. You want to take off your upper and your lower. Forgive me. I am no professional. I am simply trying to remember how I did it when I broke the last one on the other side. But I got to give a special thanks to Alan, who gave me his spare plastic parts. So, because he has all metal, and so metal don't break. So he says he doesn't need the plastic ones, so I appreciate him donating them to the cause. When I agree to metal at some point, I will try to do the same with my spare parts as I upgrade and donate the extras to the next person in line that's coming along in the hobby. everybody I've met in the hobby so far is like super friendly and happy, willing to help each other out. So kind of go along with that. Huh. Try to remember the what else? That's what it is. And now you can take off these 6. And they are 1.5 millimeter broken pieces. I believe. Yes. One of the best things I've learned about this is have a little bit of patience. Make sure your driver is pretty much as straight as you can make it, because you can strip out the heads of these little boogers. See? Especially when they're going into plastic and metal. So, oh. Thank you, kitty. Whenever you're playing with these screws and bolts, anytime you're going into metal, they say always use blue Loctite. They also say when you're messing with plastics and you strip one out a little bit, if you can, and if it's a through hole, get some wax dental floss and drop in there, and that will help fill in some of the area and give you a little more. That's what I've been told, but luckily I haven't had to worry about that yet. Okay. So. Trucks never break after you clean them. All right. Hey, that's nowhere near as bad as what I thought it would be. We're gonna. Oh. Oh. Well, now we might have an issue. How do you get those out of there when they don't want to? I'm going to try with those 3 screws that I couldn't find because of all the dirt. But I bet all that banging it probably loosened it up, made it a little easier. And these are little, oh no, oh no, these are little tiny. Little tiny. They're not bolts, or they are, but they're like very, very small. I'm sure whoever's watching this is going to look at it and go, why is he beating on that? Probably not the way you do it. Well, you also got to ask yourself, how did that monkey get that coconut open the first time? Then someone's probably going to say monkeys don't eat coconuts, but you know. It's out. And it very tiny screw. Okay. Sorry. Sometimes when I concentrate, I can't talk. Right. Sometimes when I'm concentrating, I shouldn't talk. And number 2. You ever get one of those creepy feelings where you're putting something together and you're halfway through putting it together and you realize, am I doing this right? So you have to second guess yourself. Then you realize, yep, you're doing it right. Now, if I can just remember not to use the Loctite and to use grease when I put this back together, I'll be doing great. And you don't want to over tighten. Going into the plastic. But when you're trying to seat something, you definitely want to go around and check them again on your way. Yeah. Now, the next part is the fun part. Where'd it go? Oh. That's because this is the stinky stuff. Marine grease. Oh. I've seen some people when they're greasing up their gears and bearings and such. And oh my goodness gracious, you would think they was putting peanut butter on a sandwich. Well, you need enough to coat them, not smother them. Some people probably say I'm using too much. That's all right. If they want to come over here and show me how to do it, I'll listen. All right. Now we got 6 more screws to put together. One. Number 2 going in. And number 3. Number 4. arms. Remember, you can always go to redcatracing.com and you can find a exploded view of your vehicle, and that way you can see exactly what screw length goes in what hole to hold what piece. So if you ever take something apart and you have any question about how it goes back together, they have all the knowledge you need. If you know how to, pretty much if you know how to build a model, like a model airplane, model truck, whatever, you'll be able to figure out the instructions and put it back together. That's for sure. Right. Couple little spins. Yeah. Alright. Another stinky. The stuff in my axle end in there. Everybody says all these trucks are waterproof, it's this, it's that. They might be. The electronics and stuff, but the inside of these axles, ain't nobody said that that's waterproof. I don't know if that stuff goes all the way through, but if it does, I'm going to stick some grease in there. Look. Uh-huh. Bushings are still there. Okay. Now, all you have to do is twist your little spindle on the end of your axle there, and it will line up and slide in to where you can get your portal hub on there. Drop your top screw, come in from the top, and give it a quick twist. Grab the last screw. Flip this over real quick.